We're now entering the area of music theory that I consider to be the very heart of the subject. Music is two-dimensional. Now, what do we mean when we say that? Well, a nice simple explanation is to say that in music, we deal with how notes sound when we play them one after another. And we call that the melodic dimension. But we also deal with how notes sound when we play two or more of them simultaneously. And we call that the harmonic dimension. Let's look a little closer at the fundamental raw materials that musicians work with when creating melody and harmony. Often, the first building block from the melodic dimension that we encounter is a scale. Very likely the C major scale, for example. This is what that looks like in standard notation. And as guitarists, we're very likely to be familiar with the main building block used in the harmonic dimension, chord. And we know from the last lesson in this series that chords can be created by selecting notes from the major scale according to the formula for any given chord type. So for example, the C major chord can be created by applying the formula 1, 3, 5, selecting the first, third and fifth notes of the C major scale and effectively piling them up on top of each other like this. And already here you can begin to see the two dimensions we are discussing. In standard notation, the melodic dimension is shown horizontally and the harmonic dimension vertically. In the process we call harmonizing the major scale, we bring these two building blocks together by creating chords built on each step of the scale. Notice that although all these chords look similar at first glance, they are in fact a mixture of three different types of chords. The first, fourth and fifth chords are major. The second, third and sixth are minor, and the seventh is a diminished chord. Also notice that as we switch from numbering the notes of the scale to numbering the chords of the key, I change from using Arabic numerals to Roman. Not everyone maintains this distinction, but I find it helps keep clarity by separating out the numbering of the notes in the scale from the chords in the key. The actual process of harmonizing the major scale is something we go through step by step on the Secret Guitar Teacher's Guitar Music Theory course. And we go over examples in several different keys until you gain sufficient confidence to be able to apply this process yourself to the notes of any key. The obvious and immediate benefit of learning this process is that you become familiar with exactly which chords are native to any given key that you play in. But there are several less obvious payoffs from studying music theory at this level as well. One of them is that it enables you to develop a great shortcut method of learning the sequence of chords to any given song. From this point onwards, you will no longer need to think of chords by their individual names, as you learn to understand chords in terms of their function within each key. This means that you remember chords by their numeral rather than by their name. So for example, rather than thinking of this as G, E minor, C, D, I think of it as 1, 6, 4, 5. Thinking in Roman numerals, of course. Now, one great advantage of this is then I can instantly transpose that to any key I choose. So I could play that in C, 1, 6, 4, 5. I could play it in A, 1, 6, 4, 5. Or in the key of D, 1, 6, 4, 5. Or even more obscure keys like F sharp, 1, 6, 4, 5. A B flat, and so on. And this understanding of chord scale relationships will also greatly speed up the process of working out songs by ear. Nearly all riffs, licks, melodies, and guitar solos are based on these fundamental chord scale relationships. So a working grasp of them helps you to make educated guesses about what other musicians are playing. But for me, the greatest benefit of studying this level of music theory comes simply from taking the mystery out of how music is constructed. It is at this point in your climb up the pyramid of guitar music theory that you begin to realize you are truly making the transition from being someone who just plays a bit of guitar to being a fully fledged musician. In the next lesson in this series, we'll take a brief look at the subject of cadences. This is all about how songwriters use chords to structure the flow of a song. I look forward to seeing you for that.